Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for L3 Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering The Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 7, episode 14. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can share it. And if you're new here, welcome. You can subscribe and leave your comments below. Today we're going to be talking about Lisa and Larsa possibly mending things and finding out some interesting things about Lisa and Jody's relationship. Adriana got the blues, and the never-ending saga of whatever Julia's got going on. And we get a little sneak as to what's going on between the bros, Alexia and Marisol. And Kiki, which I have something that I'm pissed off about. Let's get into it. Okay. Everyone's back from Miami, visiting Spain. It's sunny out and it's near the holidays. Marisol and Julia, they meet up, like to catch up or whatever. Of course, they're talking about this cruise that Marisol has set up for everyone to go on due to Richard Branson. She, of course, this type of talk, now I'll just say this much. I think Marisol is kind of one of the more flyest people in regards to her fashions that she does present on the show. I just feel like some of her talk is kind of old talking. Because she's just that type of person. My nerves, I got PTSD from all the yelling and shouting. You've been on reality TV, what, since at least a decade or so ago? Now, this is what y'all do. I mean, I don't know what else that we can tell you in regards to that, but that's what's up. So Julia ends up talking about her daughter. One of her daughters, Victoria, seems to be a little crack in their dysfunctional relationship as far as communication. She ended up saying to Julia at the end of the conversation, "I love you." For whatever reason, these daughters are upset in regards to Martina and her adopting these children. I would love to know exactly what happened and why you're so upset about it. But you don't have the greatest relationship with them anyways. You don't even know where your daughter goes to school at, overseas. It's like, okay. So am I like, I don't know. But the other one still is quite ice cold and it's going to take more time. But she's hopeful. Julia, what is up with that hairstyle? Who did this to you? Let's move on. Again, we see another FaceTime of Martina taking care of these boys. I cringe, but I'm not going to have another TED Talk this review. Who's next? I'm going by memory. Stephanie. Stephanie arrived. Well, not arrived. She goes someplace, and she meets up with someone named Anastasia. Anastasia is somebody big on the West Coast in the LA area. All I can say is, for Miami to have a lot of the who's who, the elite that are coming on camera, I think it's pretty cool. Although Miami is looked upon as this stepchild, I kind of really do feel like Miami has an edge up in having this luxury and elegance and all of that over Beverly Hills. Now, I probably in the earlier seasons, it was probably like that. But I think it's some of the cast that they are casting is just like, and I think that's why they keep Kathy Hilton around, to have some, and they got Sutton's friend on there now, my girl Tiffany from Chucky and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's just, yeah, Miami is doing it better than Beverly Hills. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry, but whatever. So Stephanie meets with this Anastasia person. But I think she met with someone else also. And she talked a little bit about how things went on this trip in Spain. She said that they think that she's bossy. Her friend she was able to bounce that off of her friend. And she said, well, you're in corporate America and you're a boss a lot. And you're around a lot of men, and that helps you to stay in the zone of just being bossy, or because it's basically a dog-eat-dog world. Eat or be eaten, you know. And she wants to try a different approach. Nautical Stephanie. Cool. So it looks like Stephanie just has to take her guard down when she is in different environments. Don't be work Stephanie here when you're in your more intimate relationships. Of course, you're just in this social friend group. It doesn't require that much, but it does require some type of openness and not being so brash and all that good stuff. So cool. We'll see what happens on this cruise with her. Kiki goes to lunch with her father, and loving the elegance there, wherever they went out to dinner, all that good stuff. Oh, I want to say something, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Not about Kiki or whatever. It's about some other shows on the Bravo network, but I'll save the shade for later. They talk a little bit about repairing the relationship. Kiki brings up again about, how she was kicked out at a very young age. The father is unrepentant of doing that. She was 15 years old, and she had a bag or whatever. We get a flashback of when she talks about it. And all he says, well, if you didn't get kicked out, you wouldn't have the success that you have now. And I'm just giving you the gist of what he's saying. You made your daughter survive based on the word of your off of your stepwife, your new wife. That's crazy. No communication. And I feel this way. Now, first Kiki said this is all Haitian stuff. She said that she's glad that she's been able to at least voice her opinion. She lived in America long enough to where she felt more liberated to actually speak to her Haitian parent in regards to how she's feeling and how she felt like she was treated. And normally, even if you do bring something up to try to correct your parents or say something they did was wrong, you would get slapped, which I just think that is crazy and inhumane. Some of that stuff happens over here in America too, unfortunately. But parents just think that they are, a lot of them do, above reproach. And he's still not at the place of acknowledging Kiki. But she says, oh, he's listening. Kiki did mention something about other family members in Haiti that were giving death threats. I don't know what's going on there, but I guess because of Kiki's success, they want help because they're family. Like, oh, that's bad. I don't feel like the father would be around if Kiki did not get some success. That's just how I feel. Y'all can feel whatever, but y'all can tell me in the comments what you think, because it's just like, no, you wouldn't have even come around. It may have taken a while for you guys to even, but I don't even think that would have been enough for you to accept your daughter back after what your stepwife did. Your second wife, I'll say that much. I won't say step. Your second wife did to your daughter, since you don't want to take any responsibility for what you did. Oh, let's see. Is there any other thing? Oh, we started talking about, I don't know when, but we're going to talk about Lisa right now. And I have some opinions. And I know the world just loves Lisa. She gets to be airhead, beautiful, and y'all just fall for it, and she does nothing wrong, and leave her alone, da-da-da-da-da. She's not bad. Let me just say that much. I hate that when y'all excuse people's behavior, and a lot of y'all just do it because based upon her looks. And y'all do that for other people, especially other reality stars, because they look a certain way that you possibly want to look like, or just admire that they look this way. They talk a little bit about what's going on. Lisa starts talking about, her ring is off. And she hates, it feels weird not being a missus. And then Jody's like, okay. Well, then she goes on to say that, well, I'm glad I'm not that missus anymore, but I would love to be a missus. But then says, well, I'm not in a rush. That is too many mental gymnastics, Lisa. That's very weird to me, and you're sending a lot of mixed signals because you're really being passive aggressive with Jody, because you obviously want something out of him, but then give a little shoulder and take it right back type of mentality that you're doing to this dude. So we get into Lisa and Jody problems. He said that he could handle everything that's going on with her and Lenny, and there's always different lawsuits that are coming up all the time. But now that Larsa is into it, well, he said with friends, but who else is Lisa fighting with? Larsa. It's a bit overwhelming. So are you just really going off of the scary eye situation? Because you had the scary eyes yet again in this episode. I know y'all don't like me defending her, Larsa, but I'm just really trying to figure out what's going on. He don't really know what's going on with Lisa, with Larsa. I'm confused. Do they have a texting relationship or not? Because I'm confused as to what's going on there. Because Lisa's saying that, oh, well, Larsa texted him first. Text him about what? We have not heard anything about that. Jody went on to say that they have fights where sometimes Jody sleeps in the other room, and Lisa wanted him to be quiet about that. I'm like, well, why, Lisa? You can't show any type of cracks in your relationship because you tried to do that mess with Lenny and acting like everything's so perfect. And then season 5, your world was rocked. Lisa always gets in front of the group and saying he didn't do anything wrong. He's totally innocent. When they told Lisa back a couple episodes ago, okay, so Jody's texting him, texting her right now. I didn't know that. But you're defending him blindly, and you say that you don't know what's going on. What's happening here? There's things that are alarming that are going on. Lisa will get on Twitter, and she'll just defend Jody blindly. If you're defending him blindly or whatever, you have the solid stance for Jody in public. What are you guys fighting about in private? Are you still taking up more for Larsa in public, in private? Because I'm confused. What would make him get out of that bed? Something's going on there. Something is going on there. And I need Lisa fans to get out of your heads and just think something's going on here. Because this girl got to defend this man publicly, but they're having all these fights over Larsa. For what? Some strange eyes that y'all acting like it didn't happen. No type of fight or argument happened. I already really clocked it. And I believe that something did happen when they went to, Italy? In the beginning of the season? I think something did happen. But anyways. I think that was all, I won't say domestically. They're going on a Virgin cruise. And Marisol said all they're going to do is just go around Miami. I'm like, okay. I mean, the Virgin cruise looked really nice. As far as it's all deculent and just elegant and great. They're splitting up in groups. Alexia, Marisol, Lisa, Julia, because she's the chosen trophy, and Adriana. And then in another group, Gertie, Larsa, Stephanie, and Kiki. They're gonna go taste all this stuff, drinks and all that good stuff. I'm so sick of these splitting up the group things. I'm so glad that, I think it was Kiki or Gertie that says, I really want to be amongst everybody. Why we gotta keep splitting up this group? I don't know. This is a production thing, and it's across the board on Bravo where you need to split them up. Why? Who cares? I mean, if we're actually doing other things, cool, but it's not that important. They're supposed to be figuring out how Lisa and Larsa can come to at peace, as well as with Stephanie and Alexia and Marisol. Of course, Lisa's defending Jody, and he does nothing wrong. It's Larsa, and Alexia's like, well, he texts her too and does stuff, so he's not innocent as you are trying to make it seem. Blah 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 blah. Larsa can see some of her wrong, and she's even said, I knew I was wrong when I called her a B in her home, and I apologize and all that. But there's things that she has done that she really needs to have a great apology to me. And we get flashbacks of her saying that the paparazzi told Lisa and Jody that she set up for Marcus to be captured in that cocaine picture. But we've seen other pictures of him, and y'all went along with that and accused her of that. We also see that Lisa has accused her of being in other married men's DMs. Now, I can't defend Larsa on that, but I don't think that she would do that. I don't know. I forgot what it was about why the Kardashians and her don't get along, but wasn't she? Oh no, I'm thinking about Jordan with Khloe's man. But I don't know exactly what happened, but anyway, I forgot what it was. I mean, look, either you was just trying to fight Jody's battles by trying to throw out allegations like that, or is there some truth to that, Larsa? I don't know anything about that. I don't know about Larsa just going into husband's DMs. But if y'all know something, let me know. Yeah, so I guess I think that is one of the reasons why Larsa says get away from Marcus. Now you are trying to say that the paparazzi told you that. I'm sure that Marcus influenced you to say that she did that to him, even though you do sniff cocaine, Marcus. But somehow she's the villain in all this. Okay. With Stephanie, she says, I'm being more nautical and all that, Marisol and Stephanie, they have a conversation, and she, a lot of my intent is not in that way. I did come off abrasive, and Marisol said, I don't really have a problem with you. Some things I just didn't like. And Stephanie was like, well, Julie was saying this and all that, and I got upset because of how she said it, I thought that there was a safe place with you guys that night after I cried, and then the next morning you weren't showing up at all. And Marisol explained what she did and what she did on her own, and Alexia ended up joining her. I did ask her if she wanted to come on over and all that, She kind of took the sword in her and Alexia doing what they were doing, but then later on, Alexia ended up throwing Marisol under the bus, and now Stephanie is pissed at Marisol. I'm like, ooh, We see Adriana having the blues about getting old. Where's that young man, that young hired man that you had earlier in the season, Adriana? Just wondering. Adriana, the reason I don't feel bad for you or whatnot is because you decided to go on this rant about how old Marisol was. I saw the clip of that, even though I wasn't reviewing. So it's like, why are you projecting? And for some reason, the producers thought about bringing up the whole Kiki thing, trying to make that as that. Stop. I think that there's more going on with you, Adriana, that you're not speaking of. We do know that your son does not speak with you. Maybe that's it, but something else is going on. Probably your age factor but I mean, you're doing a lot with your life. She said that she was replaced twice as a model because of her age. That's the industry. She feels like she's treated differently because of her age. Industry-wise or in the real world wise. Like, shake this off. You could have been dead at 25, but you're still living. Marisol said something too. I'm gonna say this much. She said that she don't like exercising. This is random. Marisol, you are not a spring chicken. You better get to moving something. Nobody's saying that you gotta be Susan Powers. Y'all remember from the 90s, that girl? That lady? Yeah. But you better do something before you have no mobility. As your body is aging and dying, you better get up and do something. But that's all I do have. It wasn't that heavy of an episode and all that, but I got my good eye on Lisa and Jody. And no matter how much I love Lisa so much, and I know Larsa's not innocent. I am a larcenist, and I'm able to call it out and all that good stuff. But I don't care what Lisa's portraying up in here. Since you want to hide your relationship problems, as far as Jody finally is having the opportunity to be honest as to what's going on there. Yeah. The bros, I don't know what's happening with them, but it looks like there's some trouble in paradise. But we have 3 more weeks, and then it's the finale. The 25th is going to be the finale of this season. So get ready for the reunion in October. I'm ready for it, all that good stuff. But I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and until the next one, peace.